Teen pregnancy is a topic that has been in the news, group chats, and discussions for a long time. Many people blame the parents, others blame the preservatives, and in some cases blame the girl, and the truth is that plenty of the factors come to play part of the whole problem. Society has planted a variety of things that are approved and things that are not. And girls being pregnant at such a young age is seen as irresponsible and lack of education. Let's talk about the causes of these events and consequences. According to the Centers of the Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, the teen birth rate in the United States was 13.5 births for every 1,000 teens in 2009. In 2013, early estimates put the birth rate at 12.5, a decrease of about 7.5%. Study shows that only about 22% of sexually active parents use the most effective birth control. Also, babies that are born after teen pregnancy are more likely to be premature. The first cause is lack of information. Teenage pregnancy may be linked to things such as lack of education and information about reproduction, peer pressure, and early engagement of sexual activity. Although some teenage pregnancies are intentional, the majority of them are unintentional and lead to many negative outcomes for the teenage mother, the child, as well as other family and peers. Teenage mothers generally do not have the resources to care for a child, and often they are not able to sustain healthy habits throughout the pregnancy to ensure they produce a healthy baby. These young females often do not complete their education, and they begin a perpetual cycle in which their child may further go on to become a teenage parent as well. The ever-increasing number of unwanted teenage pregnancies and venereal disease are usually attributed to lack of sex education. People are not being educated about preserving and taking care of their bodies if they ever decide to have sexual contacts. There are not that many people who can afford to buy very effective preservatives, so they have to reach for cheaper, less workable ones. Adolescent pregnancy is defined as females between the ages of 13 and 15 who engage in sexual activity and become pregnant either intentionally or unintentionally. Many times these teens are regarded as selfish, apathetic, and immoral by the general population regardless of the teen's intention of getting pregnant.
Peer pressure is another major cause of sexual abuse. Often females may be pressured or forced by an older male partner to engage in sexual activity. These young females, out of fear, may feel forced to engage in unprotected sex without a choice. Peer pressure may also be prevented in a different form. While in relationships, adolescents may be pressured by their partner to have unsafe and unprotected sex in order to express their love and true feelings for their partner. The partner may manipulate the other to have unprotected sex, which leads to unintended pregnancy. Sexual abuse is also another reason why teens may become pregnant. Early sexual abuse has been linked to later teen pregnancies. Some children have unfortunately been sexually abused by predators or even family. These young kids often are unable to inform a trusted adult about the situation due to fear of being harmed by their predator. These situations further affect the child as they enter adolescence and increases chances of teen pregnancy. Sexual abuse may alter perceptions about sexual behavior, leading an abused adolescents, especially females.
Another cause of teen pregnancy is the substance abuse. During adolescence, teenagers may drink and experiment with drugs frequently with their friends at social gatherings and parties. Teens, however, do not realize the impacts alcohol and drugs have on the functioning of their brain, especially the effects of binge drinking, which is consuming large amounts of alcohol during one sitting. Drinking excessively as well as experimenting drugs may lead to unwanted and unintentional pregnancy. These substances greatly affect a teen's ability to logical thinking and carry out general thinking process. Thus increases the chances they will engage in unprotected and unsafe sexual activity. Another reason of teen pregnancy is the family structure. According with the specialist Desire, family structure is considered a major factor contributing to adolescent pregnancy and motherhood. Desire M, cited in Rosen 1997, established that an increasing number of American teenagers had an unstable family. Their parents didn't show interest in them, they suffered of parental rejection, and because of this situation, female adolescents search for another source where they can feel loved. So they appeal to sexual intimacy. Young people aged 14 to 17 who live in a two-parent family are less likely to have ever had sexual intercourse than young people living in any other family arrangement, even after adjusting for potentially confounding factors such as race, age, and socioeconomic deprivation.
Pregnancies has become one of the major factors determining the number and rate of birth to teens. Only about half of all pregnancies to teens end in a live birth, yet only a very small amount of researches have been conducted on this important issue. One important issue that researchers have just begun to address is whether miscarriages and abortions have psychological, social, health, familial, educational, economic, or other consequences for adolescents and for their families. A few studies have focused on short-term psychological effects, but there are no long-term studies. The many studies of health effects have been conducted have found little negative impact on health. In conclusion, teenage pregnancy is a problem in today's society. There has been a steady decline in the reoccurrence of teenagers becoming pregnant, but not only in its unsuccessful part of a teen's life and development into a productive citizen. Teenagers place themselves at a huge financial disadvantage with poor decision making. On average, the cost of raising a child can place many families deeper into a financial hardship, leading to possible life of criminal activity. Educational programs are in place to assist teenagers with understanding the negative outcome of having a child and designed to assist families in dealing with the situation of young teen daughter or son becoming a parent before they are ready. The number one solution to prevention is being abstinent or using contraceptives. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Teenager pregnancy may be hard circumstance to handle, but with love and family support, all things are possible.